Welcome back, everyone, to Water Polo Wednesday with Wes and Clay. He's Wes.
And he's Clay.
Way to match my energy. If you've been with us for the past couple seasons, thank you for following along. We have officially wrapped up the NC2A preview, 10 different coach interviews, and we broke to the public 3 different schools' classes, which is awesome and incredible and builds up so much hype through the summer with teams wondering who has who. Wes, again, incredible effort putting all those together. If you guys could see Wes's calendar and how he fits all these interviews in, if you haven't noticed yet, I'm not always on all these calls. Wes technically has less time than I do and still makes time for all of this. So incredible effort for getting this out there. A couple of reminders as we proceed into this episode here. If you want early access to these episodes and a discount code to the Mercury Awards January 30th and access to our data capturing sheets as data and stats of the college season, please do sign up to become a member of our YouTube channel. You click the button that says join. It is $5 a month and we greatly appreciate the support. If not that, please do like and subscribe. That also helps. So remember, Mercury Awards, Round 1, voting for the Mercury Awards. Public voting is open until September 30th. It's a public vote, so anyone can vote up to 3 times per email. We're trying to model the biggest and the best. The MLB allows you to vote 3 to 5 times for your favorite players and MVPs, so we're kind of following that model. So you can vote up to 3 times per each position. And of course, tickets to the Mercury Awards ceremony and the banquet, plus the LAAC Victory Ball, are on sale at laacwaterpolo.com/VB, or just go to laacwaterpolo.com and find your way. So you can head there, get your tickets, and we've already sold 60% of the space. It's only been a few weeks since we've announced this.
We might have to find another room.
We might have to book a different space at the club. Thankfully, we have some options in case we're at capacity for one of them, hopefully. And so we may have to get a bigger room at the club. But big shout out to Prep to Play Sports. If you're on Instagram, you may be seeing more and more videos popping off. They've been super supportive of our program here. So thank you to them, as well as Water Polo Exchange Online, which is a great place for discussion of all things water polo. We also let everyone know when new releases of this podcast are heading out there.
Yeah.
Now, in today's episode,
want to flash a Water Polo Exchange.
Oh,
we are very grateful for Water Polo Exchange, and want to call that out. They've been awesome and given us our own little channel there, and it's a lot of great discussion, some good, some bad, and whatever else. But they've been awesome, and it's a great platform. So if you want to talk water polo, there's a lot of great things about this platform. They get there's different topics for high school, for college, for pro, for national team, all that good stuff. And we can't cover everything, but certainly the topics are there to be talked about. So I want to call them out because they've been a great partner.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks for the dive in there. So on anything else? We're good?
No, we're good. Keep going. Sorry for interrupting. Yeah, great, you're in a
great
flow.
Call. No, I'm glad you did that. So now in today's episode, Wes, this episode last season
this was
caused some tables to be flipped.
Yeah, table flipping conversation.
Passionate,
very interesting
debate. It really lit off the start of the season. So we have our preseason rankings. We have our incoming players to watch. And of course, the list everyone talks about, our preseason best of the best. But before we get to that, what's up this weekend, Wes?
So I have been looking forward to this for a couple of months. I didn't really share any of it because there's no need to, but Bruno invites this weekend. And I'm flying out. I'm going to Providence, Rhode Island. I've never been to Brown, never been to Providence, never been to Rhode Island. So we got 3 things I'm checking out the list here.
You're peeking on your mic just a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Let me turn it down a little bit.
You're so excited.
I'm so excited. I can't contain it. So I'm really excited about this. I've never been to Providence. I've never been to Rhode Island. I've never been to Brown. And I really want to thank Felix and the staff there for inviting me to broadcast this. I'm going to do as many games as I can. I'm flying in on a red eye Friday morning. I'm driving straight to the campus. I'm doing as many games as I can. Want to give this the due, the credit, bring some attention to this tournament. Because by the way, this is awesome. Brown takes on CBU on Friday. Fordham and Davis Pacific all there. We've got LIU, Air Force getting after it in the mix. Iona, Gannon, Wagner. Harvard is hosting a little bit at their campus. I'm not going there. MIT and Connecticut College, which is coached by the great Matt Anderson, who I've known for over a decade. My wife's former coach at Michigan. That'll be August 28th, 29th, and 30th. Again, at Brown, the Bruno invite, kicking off the season on ESPN Plus. So really excited about this because we don't get a lot of chances to see Fordham live. I know that they're coming out to the West Coast twice this year, but to see them against Pacific, first look against CBU, okay, against Davis, that is a legit weekend for them to be going CBU Friday, and then I think Pacific Davis Saturday. I have to look at the exact schedule, but really excited about this. Again, a lot of gratitude to the squad bringing me out, having me there. So so Fordham will get Pacific Saturday morning. They will get Gannon in the afternoon, and then they'll get Davis on Sunday. CBU gets Browns. We won't see Fordham CBU, but CBU gets Brown, and then they flip over. They're going to get Harvard on Saturday and MIT on Saturday. So this is awesome. Like, this is so cool to watch and be a part of, especially earlier in the season. It's like a first look. We know that USC, UCLA, Stanford, Cal are going to be great. Like, that's kind of a foregone conclusion. But the muddle middle, we call it, is a really big deal to me, because this is interesting stuff, right? Like, they don't get the same praise that some of these other teams do. Let's get them some action. Everybody tune in. Text me if you've got exciting updates or things you want to hear or whatever else. Like, let's make this engaging and fun. I love this.
Should we broadcast yourself, Wes, so they can text you?
No. Thank you for asking. That's
if you know Wes and you have his number, yeah.
It's not that hard to find. I feel like plenty of people have my number.
If people want to know how to get to you, they'll figure it out. Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up. Oh, Clay, I love you. For those of you who don't know, Clay and I go back a long time. We have been best friends for better part of more than a decade, and so there's a lot of love here. Clay, I want to thank you as we start our third season for just being on this journey with me. You've been amazing. It's just
it's fun to continue to find ways to support the sport, and so whenever you have more crazy ideas, thanks for inviting me to come along.
No worries. All right, so next up, Clay, freshman watch list. I will say, Clayton, I think this is the best freshman class in the history of our sport. In the history of our sport. And
all right. I don't know if we've had hot takes already, but that's hot take
one. This is a hot take.
It's hot take one.
I hear you that Ryder's class, because Ryder was in it, and Tony's class, because Tony was in it, was great. But from a depth perspective, this is the most talent I have seen, not only coming out of high school, but also foreign. And a lot of these foreigners are 20 already, so like are 20, 21 years old. So keep that in mind. But I was going through it, and I'm like, I'm running out of space on our 5 stars. Like, these guys are elite talents. And I had a hard time. I can't leave some of these guys out. So I'm going to talk about this real quick. Not real quick. So
can I pause you there? Can I pause you there real quick?
Just please,
on a note, because we talked about the 5-year ruling of eligibility in one of our other previous episodes. So if they're 20 already, because the clock starts when they turn 19,
4 years,
so they'll have 4 years.
4 years. Yeah,
got it.
So a guy like Clay Carrington, Oliver Marson will have technically 5. Carlo Dragocevic will have 5, but I think Luka Gladovich will probably have 4. I don't know all their ages, so I shouldn't speak on it. But Ante Jurkovic, left-handed attacker going to USC from Croatia. probably the best left-hander in the world at this age group. Like he's that good. Pretty unbelievable left-handed attacker. Oliver Marson, 2-time Northern California CCS Player of the Year, junior and senior year. For my money, best center coming out of high school. And I know the argument's going to be, well, Tyler Anderson. I hear you. I think Oliver's better. It's my opinion. Can have at me all you want. Oliver is a bit more complete at both ends. Can play defense. So can center defend. And this guy had offers everywhere. Everywhere wanted this guy. Tells you, like, everybody wanted this guy, and he had the grades. Good for him going to Princeton. It's amazing. Ilias Angelopoulos, we talked about him going to Cal, center and defender from Greece. This guy is Papa Nicolau 2.0. His movement in the water, Clayton, you talk about moving through water, the way he releases for the ball, the way he is able to hold position, and then the springiness of his reaction is amazing.
I seen Papa Nicolau reincarnate or 2.0 as in the upgrade.
As in better. Reincarnate. I don't know if you get better than Papa Nicolau. Like, I think we're hitting. I was
going to say 2.0 as in an upgrade. I'm like, what?
He's reincarnate. The way this guy moves is like, it's like I'm watching Papa Nicolau as a freshman. It's wild. We'll talk about our rankings for the season coming up, but like, this guy's going to cause some problems in the MPSF. Luka Gladovic, right-handed attacker, Serbia. He is going to UCLA. He is on the senior team for Serbia already. Has been for the last year. And was before most of the senior team guys quit because of the change in regime and they resigned. So Luka Gladovic, this is a giant pickup for UCLA. Giant. Okay. To pair him with Ryder Dodd, Tico Carzalade, get out of town. Come on. These guys are all 5 stars. I don't know why, but the font isn't coming through on Octavian here. Octavian Vekliuk to the left there underneath Ilias. Fordham, right-handed attacker, played professionally in Italy for a year on Genoa Quinto. He is 6'7" and shoots the lights out. This guy was the 10th highest scorer in the Italian First Division, 1 goal fewer than Max Irving, who played for Recco. This guy, I don't know how Fordham will line up. I don't know where they're going to put Andrash. But if you go on the left side, Vuk Kojic, Octavian, Andrash, you've got Luca Provenciani that can flip both sides. This team is really good. And this is an elite level shooting recruit. Okay. Dimitrios Hatsis. This guy played U20 as a 17-year-old for Greece. Went to World Cup qualifiers. Or World Cup, I think he went to World Cup finals for Greece. This guy is a pure scorer. One of the best shooting right-handers at his age group in the world, if not the best shooting right-hander for his year, because I think he's only like 18, 19, so he's younger. Outstanding scoring player. Defense, we'll see. His weakness is his defense, but he can rip. Now, how he pairs with Botan at Stanford, I'm really not sure how you do that because there's only one ball. And both those guys like to shoot. So it'll be interesting to see how they find that balance. But they're elite players. They'll figure it out. Connor Ohl, part of the U20 Silver Squad, been part of our senior team for a while. Went to Singapore as a reserve for the World Championships in 2025. Watched him play against Italy. I think he's going to end up being more of a defender, if I'm honest with you, because they have so many right-handed attackers at Stanford. Connor is really fast. And I think somebody posted his swim times. It's like stupid fast. And he's very long, very, very long. So if they use him as a defender, that would not surprise me at all, because I think Stanford is going to need some defensive help there. They don't have really a defender except for Orestes Zavadakis. So Connor Ohl, 5-star recruit coming out of originally from Greenwich, went to Newport Harbor for his last couple of years, and was in JO finals for Newport. But more than anything, this guy on the international level is getting some great experience and has been fun to watch him grow.
Absolutely.
As he kind of, Deon's done a nice job developing and seeing the future ahead of a lot of people. Connor Ohl been part of that. Clay Carrington, left-handed attacker. This guy also had offers everywhere. Okay. When a kid has offers from like every single school, it tells you something. good person, good player, has the grades, right? He's a good fit everywhere. Decides to go to Harvard. How do you blame him, right? Going to Harvard, left-handed attacker. This guy, uh, and this is, I don't know if this is an opinion. For me, it feels pretty real. I think there'll be people disagree with this. Best left-handed attacker coming out of high school in a long time. 6'6", shoots the lights out. His older brothers, both D1 athletes, one in soccer, one in basketball, like long line of athleticism coming from his family. He can rip. I wouldn't be shocked to see him in National League for the U20 squad. Same with Oliver Marson and on the U20 roster for 2027. These guys are very bright future for the United States if they can keep with it. We know that Harvard and Princeton have a little different schedule than the others. And finally, Carlo Dragocevic, Fordham center. The Fordham centers between Barnabas Epa and Diego Tressa, Carlo Dragocevic, Reed Thorson, very deep. They and Cal have the best depth when it comes to center. I know that Stanford has Georgian Snyder with James Rosales-Hill. I think Rosales-Hill's more utility, but these guys, Carlo Dragocevic, highest point per 6'8", highest point getter for Croatia at World Cup finals. He just won a U20 European Championship. In my opinion, outplayed Viktor Toncinic, which I wouldn't have said that in 2025. Toncinic was better than Dragocevic. This guy's developed a ton and is going to be a dominant force for Fordham. They've got some serious talent at the center position out there back east in the Bronx.
Just hearing this list is making me so excited about this upcoming season, knowing the teams and programs that these players are going into as it is. One thing I'm noticing is that, like you called out, some of these teams are just loaded with attackers and even loaded at the center position. I'm not sure about the depth at the center defender position for a lot of these programs. And that's very interesting. We had a lot of great center defenders graduate from this last season. So how are teams going to answer defensively to all this center firepower in combination with outside shooters? Because we got a lot of offense, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of games at like 18, 17 goals, 18 goals. The best teams will find ways to limit goals. I think we'll look at the stats as the season goes along, but 8 to 9 goals a game giving up is the objective for a top tier team, like a Final Four type team. Fordham's the exception, but they also put up like 22 goals a game. So they're like, we give up 16, we win by 6. No big deal. That might be an exaggeration on how many they score, but they score a ton of goals. They give up more, but they score a lot more too. So they play a little more high flying offense. So this list, unbelievable. It's going to be we're seeing super teams kind of come together. And as Coach Graham pointed out, it's more talent at the top than we've ever seen. A big part of that is we're seeing far more foreigners come over than we ever have. I think that's due to Fordham in large part because they've got a little more money. Jesuit schools, for those of you who don't know, Jesuit schools have financial aid package for foreigners that's different than most schools. So they're able to provide more financial aid than most schools. It's just their policy. It's the Jesuit kind of credo, right? Is like you want to educate the whole person, and they want to help. It's a very like charitable institution. The Jesuits are very much about service in others, and so they want to provide opportunities for everybody. So a big part of why Fordham, I believe, has been able to do this is because of the financial aid packages that Jesuit schools provide. You're starting to see it a little bit more in Santa Clara too, and LMU. They've always had a lot of foreigners, so I think that's a big part of it, and the fact that there's no scholarship limits anymore. They're able to provide more money for these foreigners without taking away from other people. So,
yeah, it is interesting. There's that ever going conversation about international players and the impact that they have on the American circuit of talent and development. And on one hand, you argue that, okay, you bring guys over here and they will enrich the level of play and the height of the elite game, not just when you're playing games, but in internal trainings. You're scrimmaging if and with and amongst better players. So the Americans that are on these teams are in theory developing faster. And I think in terms of like a pipeline, well, if you're not already called out when you're 18, seems to be the case, or if not younger, like they're going to be the people that we will see on our senior team. But the real downside is still going to be the lack of continuation of play post college. And that's always going to be kind of our bottleneck of development, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think a lot of countries used to be a little more punitive to players coming over. Um, but when you're a kid and you're 18, 19 years old and you want to make the senior team and everybody ahead of you is like
As an
28,
American,
29, as an American or a foreigner,
yeah,
like this is a really good opportunity for you. Um, the US getting better in large part, I think, is due to National League. I think that's helped us a ton when it comes to the development of our U16s, 18s, and 20s.
yeah,
Um, I look, I think that is the one thing you can point to is consistency. Like we've gotten better since National League has started. Full stop. And the
mm,
teams that are providing those opportunities to younger players, you know, um, we had Jack Pointner on our team this last year. Connor Roll has played with Nyack. We've had Oliver Clay play with us. Tyler Anderson, for example, played with UCLA 1 year, and the U18 team this past year. Like those opportunities to play at a higher level. And Clay, this is what we did growing up. We had Premier League, and I was living in
yeah,
Hungary playing with 30-year-old men. That has helped accelerate the growth and development
for
of
sure.
these players in ways that we have never seen before. That's the only thing that's really different, right? That's it.
Yeah,
So for me, that's a big piece of it.
yeah.
Um, so really exciting there. Cool. So that's your 5-star, but there's a lot more. In fact, we have a 4-star list
Yep.
as well.
I was
Oh, there's
wondering if there's going to
Octavian.
be an animation that brought
Yeah.
Octavian's name.
Yeah,
There it is.
I was wondering that as well. I've duplicated this. Karlo Dragocevic is actually a 5-star, not a 4-star. Victor Savic, goalie for Fordham, another foreigner. This guy was a starter for the Serbian team at the U20 Europeans. He overtook Mihajlo Gosic, which is a big deal because Mihajlo Gosic has been the golden child of the Serbian Federation and national team development for the last few years. Mark Angelescu, USC, 6'6" defender, Romanian born, living in Spain now, coming over to the LA area playing for the Trojans. A big pickup as you talk about the lack of defenders in the United States. Very tough. So this is big. I know every school is looking for defenders, and I think every country, frankly, is looking for defenders. Kai Kaneko led the US U18 team in goals for that U18 run to the silver. He's headed to Stanford, another right-handed attacker. Clay Carrington, a 5-star. Not sure why he's still on this list. I made some mistakes here. Balazs Batori, a center defender for Fordham. He's 6'6", very long. He needs to put on a little bit of weight, but this guy can play and he can shoot. One of the guys we watched this summer, actually, Clay. He can really shoot for a defender, but not surprising being Hungarian. It's a big pickup there for them. They'll continue to add to those defender ranks. Tyler Anderson, a center, left-handed, heading to USC. We previewed him on last Thursday with Coach Pintaric, a really big pickup for him. I think he's a couple of years away from the collegiate game. I know he dominated at U18, and people will be like, "Oh, you're totally wrong." And I hear you, right? Like I get it. He did really, really well at U18, playing against collegiate
I'm going to say
players, against
I'm going to
Maddox.
call this hot take. Hot take number 2. Tyler Anderson's a 4-star instead of a 5-star.
Prove me wrong. I'm okay if I'm wrong.
I'm not saying
I just don't
right or wrong. I'm just saying it's a hot take.
It's a hot take. I don't see him being ready coming in the way Oliver Marson is ready coming in, or Dragocevic, for the speed of up and down. He's got to get comfortable with the speed going up and down. And if you watched against Jet Taylor in the JO final where Cathedral beat Newport, Jet Taylor had his number, and that was the difference. And so Jet Taylor is a year younger. He's a junior in high school. He's already with the senior team, and you can see him playing up against men in the collegiate level and doing well. And that's the difference. Right. So there's just another step. Tyler will take that step. I know he loves water polo. I know he's going to work really, really hard. If nothing else, hopefully this motivates him to be like, I need to be the best. If nothing else, we can serve as that. So really incredible class coming in for this group. Again, this is the best, deepest class I have ever seen because these guys are all top of the top playing at U20 Euros, playing at World Cup qualifiers, playing at U20 World Championships. Like, this is amazing. Amazing. So really, really cool. Top 5 freshman classes, Clay. Fordham, we're going with 1. Octavian Bekliuk, Balazs Batori. You've got Karlo Dragocevic, Vuk Kojic, part of that class, Petar Kulash. All these guys are U20 all-world type players. And Victor Savic in the goal, which I think is a huge pickup for them. He's 6'6", 6'7", great wingspan. Again, wonderful, wonderful pickup. USC and Halescu, Tyler Anderson. They did pick up. I know Oppo's not a freshman, but picking up Hospitalus Iogatis is a dude. That's a big pickup for them. Of course, Ante Jurkovic is going to pull strings like you would not believe. Like, he is going to be a problem for everyone. How he deals with Ryder on that side, we'll see. But Ante Jurkovic, huge pickup for them. Cal, Ilias Angelopoulos, Amir Shafir, a great pickup as well. Mason Netzer, nice lefty pickup. I'm sure I'm forgetting some people here, but having a center like Angelopoulos is such a big deal. That he will come in and he will be a center and a defender to add to that group. I just think that the Cal is really primed to do some interesting things this year. UCLA, Gladovic, far and away, I think the best right-handed attacker coming into college water polo this year. So that's a big pickup for them. They also had a trio of transfers that are really going to help them out, or 4 transfers, as we talked about, 1 from Santa Barbara and 3 from Stanford, and a few other nice pickups for them. And then, of course, Stanford. How can you leave them out? You can't. You've got Hatsis coming in, Connor Ole, Kai Kaneko. They're lacking at the center and defender position, which is why they're lower. And people will say, well, they have all these great right-handed attackers. Yes, they do. And I know they transferred James Rosales-Hill. How he fits that, I don't know yet. I think he ends up on the right side or defending because they need center and defender depth. They've got Georgie and Snyder. They don't have anybody other than Zervadakis, who really hasn't played a whole lot for them in 2 years he's been there. So we'll see how that transpires. But very good freshman class. Not surprising to see the top 5 being Fordham, USC, Cal, UCLA. The big thing here is Fordham has had back-to-back very good recruiting years. Adding Kojic, Tressa, Octavian Bekliuk, Petar Kulash, Dragocevic, Savic, Batori, and Deke Salapante was at U20s. Like, they've added a lot of talent. They're going to be very, very good this year. I think they're 1 year away. I think 2027, they're in the finals. That's my call out. Hot take number 3. 2027 NC2A finals, it consists of Fordham and somebody else. I don't know who else yet. That's my hot take number 3.
Hot take number 3, Fordham's in the finals, 2027.
Yeah, there you go. Next up, Clay. It's a table flipping time. This, you see, I put some effort into
Love
this.
it. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, look,
so
for any of the typos you see or whatever, look, that was all put towards these beautiful animations. So
yeah.
we gotta take from somewhere to put it somewhere else.
There's only so much Wes. Wes is not scalable. 2 goalies, the best of the best. 2 goalies, 2 defenders, 2 centers, 8 field players, 4 on each side, and 2 utility. So we added utility to this because there are a couple of players that I couldn't classify as one side or the other or one position or another.
Did we do 10 last time total?
We did 2 lines of 7, 14. So now we're at 16.
Okay.
So we added 2 more utility players because I couldn't classify them as one. Like, they may not be the best, like, top 4 right-hand attacker, but they're a top player. It's like, well, how do you classify that? Utility. Similar to like Mercury Awards, I think we need to celebrate the goalie, the defender, the center, and the attacker.
Sure.
Like, that's the objective here, right? So we're going to phase these in. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. We're going to start at the goalie position.
Okay.
Charlie Mills. Charlie Mills came in relief for Bernardo Herzer and did nothing but be one of the top goalies in the country, one of the top save percentages in the country, led USC to a NC2A final and lost by 1 goal on the very last shot at the last second of the game as time expired. Charlie Mills has been with our senior team. He's been outstanding. And people are saying, well, what about Bernardo? Bernardo's heading to Stanford. He was hurt last year. We got to see where he's at. Goalies are weird. So Charlie Mills gets the nod here.
No one's arguing that.
Nate Tauscher. Now, people will say, what about Aron Pina? I agree. Aron Pina is a great goalie, but Nate Tauscher has 2 national championships. Yeah. And I know he's got a great team in front of him, but I can tell you, if you have a great team in front of you and a terrible goalie, you don't win those games. You got to give this guy some credit. I like Nate Tauscher a lot. He's been outstanding. He had more blocks than I think anybody else in the top 4 teams in the country. Great save percentage. To me, really good. He'll be battling, I'm sure, Griffin Price. I know there's a competition going on there, but Nate Tauscher, 2 national championships to his name. Say what you want about Pina and Hertzer and Savic, who you don't know yet. And people are going to say, well, where's Yapyash? I'm going to break this to everybody. Yapyash is redshirting this year. So, not on the list. Can't make it if you don't play.
Hard to be best goalie if you're
What's
not
up
playing.
next? Center defenders. He's fading in and out. I don't know why he's fading in and out here. It's interesting.
he's flashing.
There we go. I got them both. In. Yeah, they're coming in hot. Luke Nelson, Ben Larson, center defenders. This was tough. This was really tough.
And we're seeing a pattern here already of USC and UCLA.
Wow. They've been the top 2 teams.
Yeah.
Right? Where's Maddox Arlen? Maddox Arlen's outstanding. I think Luke Nelson plays a little bit better offense. Nelson is 6'7", can rip from outside. He gives you something most center defenders don't give you, which is a shot from the outside. And he also is a very good defender. We've seen him match up. We've seen him as part of the senior team. He can fly up and down the pool. Love this kid. Love to watch him play. I love scoring centers and I love scoring defenders. Good defense gets me more excited than good offense, to be honest with you, like field blocks and like scoring defenders who can really play both ends. Larson as well can play both ends. He's more of a attack downhill type guy where he's not going to shoot like a Greg Carson from the outside. He'll go post you up though. So if you go to press from the outside, press him, he's going to drive you in and post you up because he's so big and strong. Younger brother here of Jack Larson, who's been a part of our senior team for a little while playing at Sabaday. So these 2 guys are center defenders. All right. 1-2 side. I don't know why these guys are still blinking. This is driving me nuts. 1-2 side. Ryder Dodd. You want to talk about Ryder? This is like not a surprise. Shouldn't be.
I don't think it's a surprise.
All right. Well, Ryder Dodd, 2-time Catino winner. He's just the best player that's played our sport.
What do you want to know?
No big deal. What do you want to know? All right. Next up, Andras Toth, the only player outside the MPSF, outside the West Coast, I should say, to make first-team All-American. He and Japyash were the only 2 first-team All-Americans, consensus All-Americans, not in the MPSF. This guy's the real deal. Second on the team at U20 in scoring at European Championships behind Botan Balo. This guy's outstanding. Can fly up and down the pool, fluid. If you leave him alone, he's going to put the ball in the back of the net. He gets behind defenses. He's one of the guys that'll go all the way to the 2 meter, beyond the 2 meter line. He makes life really difficult for teams. And shouldn't be any surprise here. Next up, Besso Akhlediani, another first teamer. Guy's outstanding. Can absolutely rip the ball when he's in shape. Watched him play for Georgia. Yeah, I know the reference is funny, right? I watched him play for Georgia as they finished second at World Cup Qualifiers Division II. This guy's the real deal. He's only got 2 years of eligibility left. I'd like to see him play a bit more. Last year was kind of an integration year, but this guy is elite on that left side. So really, really excited about him. Tico Carcelade cut a lot of heat last year. For everybody who messaged me and ripped me online, and you said Tico wasn't good enough to start at most. Somebody said Tico wasn't good enough to start at most schools in the country. You were wrong. That guy scored the game-winning goal in the NC2A championship game. That's the guy I want on my team. Okay? This guy is a top-tier player. I know he doesn't put up the goals like some of these other players do, but not everybody is going to do that. This guy does things. He drives. He plays great defense. He gets steals. He's the engine. This is a glue guy. And so I picked a glue guy on each side because it's not all about scoring. And if you think it's all about scoring, you're wrong. No coach would agree with you. Besso plays great defense. Andras is the best perimeter defender at Fordham. Ryder Dodd is bullets on defense. Tico plays great defense, and he moves like he's unbelievable. This guy has a motor like you've never seen. I'm sticking with Tico. So you eat that. Next up, right side. You're going right side. Go ahead. This is Ben Leafy.
Right side, Ben Lathy, back to UCLA, another Bruin. He's been getting a lot of minutes with the men's senior team, and quite frankly, is the best lefty that we have in the U.S. Today, right now. If he's not going to make the team for the senior team, I think that'd be a huge miss. We've called out how it's how hard it is to succeed without at least one strong left-handed attacker. And he's also had to be quite diverse more recently. That we saw some of that in National League, where Ben actually has a lot of post up skills, and he has hands in center, and he can be very dangerous, not just as a wing player and an attacker, but also getting in the middle and mixing things up. Not just as a center, but as a left-handed center specifically, just really catches defenders off guard.
Yeah, yeah. He's unbelievable. I'll keep going here.
Mitch
that guy?
Keatley. We've had him for a few years at LA Athletic Club, and he was getting a ton of minutes in National League this season, and especially through the finals and the actual championship game. And we had people asking us, like, dude, who the heck is this guy?
I know.
Never heard of him. It's like, we'll get to know his name because it's Mitch freaking Keatley out of New Zealand, plays at San Jose State. So we're finally branching out to outside the top 5 teams here. And this guy is talking about lights out defense. If we're choosing guys based on their productivity on offense and defense, Mitch is there. I'd say over these past couple seasons, he's been trying to find his voice offensively, and we think he's starting to find it. But if there's one person that you want to play lock up defense against anybody, we pick Mitch. The guy is incredible at pressing high in the lane, and there's some great perimeter defenders out there, but there's something about the way that this guy moves and anticipates. It's just absolutely phenomenal, and is a great guy to boot.
Yeah. For those of you who watch National League Finals, Mitch guarded Colin Mulcahy and Nick Mirkovic, and Mirkovic went off for like 5 or 6 goals.
5, if not 6, yeah.
Yeah. Mitch did not give up a single goal while he was guarding those respective players. It tells you how good he is.
That is a deadly. If you watch that game, that's a deadly combination. Those are 2 of the most formidable players on the left side in National League. Mitch shut him out.
Yeah, and so we're excited about him being here. He's a glue guy. He's the team captain for San Jose State this year. Him and Shaman Beaters. So excited for Mitch. And people will say, well, he's only on here because he's LA Athletic Club. That's partly true. We just get a chance to see him a lot more. And we know what he can do on defense. We need to call out and celebrate more than just offense. And we see it every day. So we feel really fortunate for that. Next up, you know this guy?
Botti. Botan Balog. Talk about a guy who has just been, well, I think, Wes, you called him out as being the outstanding shooter and player early on, and he's been finding his rhythm with Stanford, and he's been finding his voice over this last season as someone who can be a true contributor, meaningful goal scorer, so many multi-goal games, and he just had a performance recently. Wes, I'd love for you to talk about that, where I believe he was the top goal scorer in the international stage.
Yeah, so at European U20s, he really led the team, the Hungarian team, in a way that I've really not seen somebody be as effective as he really was. I know that they didn't finish in the top 4, which is tough. But I think that when you look at that roster and how he did, so in the final game, I want to make sure I get this right. He had 6 goals in the final game. Going into that game, he had 24. So he ended the tournament with 30 goals. That's kind of insane.
Tournament, 30 goals.
30 goals
Pretty
in
good.
the tournament in 6-7 games, yeah. So he's found his voice internationally. But we're waiting to kind of see him emerge. He was great last year, but I think he could have been even better.
Based off the difference, the delta between last year and the year prior, huge jump.
Huge jump
in his ability
more
to
minutes
be a meaningful
too.
contributor to that program, and more minutes, right? And I think they're all continue to find who's fitting where on that team. And they have a lot of work to do for this season as well. But if that's any indicator of what's possible for this year, I think that he can make another massive jump. And while Bernardo Hertzer is going to be a huge leader for that program as a goalie, it's usually your backbone, and with his experience being in the finals before, I think Botti has a real opportunity to be a leader on this team if he chooses to be.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that it'll be very interesting to see how that Stanford team works out with a lot of new attackers and where he fits. Does
Mm-hmm.
he go right side? Does he go left side? I'm not sure, but we'll see.
Or
We'll
how does
see.
he facilitate? Does he take more opportunities, or does he pick more options, and then it just makes a
Yeah,
more complete team? We'll have to see.
yeah, for sure. So we'll see how that shakes out. Always interesting. Next up,
Uh,
Tomas
our
Perrone.
boy.
He led Spain this U20. They finished second, losing only to Croatia. I think people saw what he's capable of. He was injured for a lot of last year,
That's
broken
right.
ribs, concussion. Then got knocked out again when he came back. His first game back, he got kneed in the face, which was really messed up. I did not like that. I was on the call for that. That was
Yeah.
irreprehensible. Some because he got
Yeah.
targeted, so he was out for most of last year. Never found his rhythm, but you saw what he could do at U20s, and
Absolutely.
this is incredible. This is going to be insane to watch him take over the NC2A this year.
Yeah, he came in with an insane amount of confidence winning that U20s tournament, and then we saw him score game-winning goals that next season. Didn't
Yeah,
didn't skip a beat with his ability to deliver immediately. So I
yeah,
think that he's going to come in with a huge chip on his shoulder, having been injured and been out of it for the remainder of that season, to really
right.
prove himself that he belongs and come over even hotter than he was before.
Yeah, yeah, and excited to see him play. Um, I get to do all the Cal games this year. I'm pumped. This Cal team's going to
Yeah,
be a lot of fun to watch. Both, I mean, all the MPSS teams are going to be very close. We'll talk about rankings in a second here. So really, really jacked up for this. Next up, centers. I'll take this one. Strahinja Kirstic
Krstić.
was a dominant. He was a freshman to watch last year. 5-star recruit, was dominant. Nothing short of dominant. That's what we look for in those 5 stars. Guys who come in and contribute immediately on their teams. And Strahinja will be the go-to for this USC team. It'll give Tyler Anderson the opportunity to develop and go against second defenders, where Strahinja will demand the best of the best coming at him. Been a part of now the senior national team for Serbia, is a part of was a part of that U20 squad at Europeans. This guy's elite. It's an elite scoring center. Very strong, very good without the ball, draws a lot of exclusions off ball. Plays kind of a he's very easy going into it and then really snaps into a like aggressive player. You
Yeah,
watch him, he
it's
can
the
look a little
opposite of
lackadaisical.
my
He's
playing
not.
style.
Yeah.
I usually go in and try to do way too much.
Yeah. Way too much too
But
early.
this
And by the
guy,
time we get to the end of the
you,
clock,
you
yeah.
watch some players and you're like, man, I wish he'd work a little bit harder. Imagine how good he can be. But that's just experience and intelligence at a
Hmm.
certain point, and knowing how to
Yeah.
when to conserve your energy, because for how productive he is, look, you can take as much time as you need. Go underwater, get your breath, and then boom, he's ready when it counts, and that goes to
Yeah.
his ability as a player, his IQ.
Yeah. A lot of composure there. And, played a lot internationally. So growing up in Serbian system, he played it for Filipovic at his club
Hmm.
before going to Novi Beograd. Next up, Alex Georgi. For my money, the best center in college water polo this year
Yeah,
and last year. This guy gives Stanford a real shot this year, being as good as he is. You can't move him. You can't really go around him. So good luck. You're going to have to double team him. Watch him get 2 and 3 double teams. And what's been most impressive about Georgi is that his game is developed where he was very lumbering and slow on his move to the ball and his release. So he would hold positioning and just take the exclusion. He wasn't quick to the ball. That has
yeah.
changed this last year. He is quick to the ball. He releases, he snaps, he backhands. He's developed that next step in his game. It's been a lot of fun to watch. He's in his final year here. So we'll see what happens.
I'd
Um,
say
I
he's really complemented really well by his teammates too, because I think that
mhm.
they've really worked on placement. I think that like the art of the entry pass is something I pay a lot of attention to, and that Stanford team has figured out exactly where he wants that ball. So kudos to you know everyone that's surrounding him that's enabling as much, because boy, it's really helping him out.
Yeah. Yeah. Be interesting to see how they do this year. But having Boton and Ben, the Holy Trinity, we called them last year, those three guys were everything for that team at really both ends. And they've got other role players, other nice pieces, but those three will continue, and we'll see how much Hatsis gets run. Remember, I think people expect these players come in and just be all world. It's hard. Strahinja's kind of unique. Ryder's unique. It took Ben Lathey a couple of years to get comfortable. It's taken some of these guys a few years to get comfortable. Boti was not the same guy his freshman year that he was his sophomore year that he's going to be his junior year, right? So it's something to consider as they kind of continue to develop. Next up, we have our utility players. So I'm going to let you do one, and then I'll do the last one.
Okay, go for it. Sam brothers.
Yeah.
This is Mitch Catley's younger brother, despite being the bigger brother. Sam Catley, also out of New Zealand. He's been made a couple appearances on the exhibition stage with Team Australia, working on naturalizing over there to play for their national team. And this guy is an absolute unit, and hopefully could be seen why he's being put on this utility list, because if he's just seen as a 1-2 side attacker, no, he's not going to be seen above a Dodd or above a Beso. And if we're having him post up, he's not going to be above a Kirstich or a Georgie. But as a complete threat, is someone that you put in as a utility player. This is someone you want to have on your team to give you depth, not just on offense, but to be a body defensively. And he was coming. It was his freshman year last year, Wes.
Yeah, 6'7", sets,
immediate
defends,
impact,
left side,
sets,
right
defends.
side.
Yep. And now he's got another year of experience playing in National League, playing with international teams. And again, he's under his older brother's the team captain. So, Mitch, you have a job of continuing to keep him whipped up into shape, but I don't think he'll have too much of a problem because this guy wants it.
No. Yeah. And he has a genetic anomaly where he doesn't accrue lactic acid.
Eating?
So, like, well, that too. We've seen that. But yeah, he can literally just keep going because there's very little lactic acid buildup in his body. So it's really fascinating.
Must be nice.
Swim. Yeah, he's missing out on a lot of pain. I'll tell you that. Next up, in our final player, Apostle Siogatis, transferring from Pacific to USC. This is a guy that, an it factor, a guy that can win you a game. People are going to say, well, where's Robert Lopez Duarte on this list? I hear that. He's outstanding. This guy is a more complete player. He can defend very well. He can play the right side.
We're talking about utility players now anyway. So we're not going to put...
I hear you. Robert's not a utility player. Yeah. So, I hear that. But, like, Apostles can even post you up. Very strong, extremely fast up and down the pool. There are guys who can do a swim meet really fast. This guy's quick on the reaction and gets out on the break quite a bit, and can really drive teams nuts. Like, he is, you have to account for him. I think he put up 5 when USC played him at Pacific in the first half. So, yeah, there's that. He's got every shot, every release point. He'll need to grow and mature, but there's parts of his game that very few people can replicate. They can only emulate. And he'll defend for USC. I'm sure he'll play the right side and pick up maybe the best player, the Ryder Dodds of the world, and the Bessos and the Andrash. He can also shoot lights out from the left side. He won't need to set, but he can also post up if he needed to. So, exciting time.
There you go.
People gave us a lot of crap last year about this being all LA. I can tell you that Tauscher and Lacey and, Strahinja and Georgie, and they've never played for LA before, and a lot of these guys haven't. So you can, just so you know. Oh, I don't forget.
Calling it out. But regardless, people are going to have opinions. I'm just going to call this whole list the third hot take.
The fourth hot take. The third hot take was Fordham making 2027 finals. Yeah, fourth hot take.
Oh, that was the third.
Yeah.
Okay, fourth hot take.
Fourth hot take. We're all about hot takes. Let's get it going. Next up, of course, our hot take here. This is going to really shine. Yeah, people are going to love this. Our preseason national rankings. People love to debate this with us. I'm all for it. It's all in good fun. Who the heck knows? Here's what we know. Coming up next. But what does it matter? Anyway. It matters nothing. So we do this for fun. We get no points. We're starting with Pepperdine at number 10. And people are going to say, well, why isn't Pepperdine higher? Because they don't have Adam Chapo this year. So that's why Peppernine's not higher. They're going to have to fill that. That's a tough leadership guy to lose, tough player to lose for the year. So that's why they're not higher up. They would have been probably 7th or 8th if they had Adam Chapo. I think he's that good, that much of a difference maker. So sad that he
Chapo's
won't
a
be playing
huge
this year.
difference maker.
Huge
Absolutely.
difference maker. Next up, Long Beach. Corbin Stanley, Gabby Acosta. They do graduate touring Stanley. I know Mark Fergola is still there. They do pick up Fede. Is it Castellano? Castrucci? Forget the name. It's an Italian
Federico.
name.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Federico, transfer from Long Beach City. He's going to be a monster to deal with. Smaller guy, but can absolutely rip.
Gulisano.
Thank you. So he will help them a ton. And they've got a couple of lefties, Harper Stewart, to name one, Oliver Sudar as well. But they're smaller. They're a bit smaller. They're not quite the lengthy lefties that can play good defense. So you can't have them in for long periods of time. They're not going to be great in a zone because of the height differential between them and some of the bigger outside shooters. If you move Luke Nelson to the left side or Sam Keatley, like you're not gonna get up high enough to stop those guys. Are 6'6", 6'7". So Long Beach State coming in at 9. Number 8, San Jose State. I know they're without Japiash this year, and that's going to be a tough deal. But their backup goalie is really good. Sam Keatley, Mitch Keatley, Shamu Birosh, Vince Birosh, the brother, the 4 2 pairs of brothers, 4 brothers, whatever. Giancarlo Marquez coming back. They picked up a really good center defender in Setkovic. We're going to watch him quite a bit this year. Depth will be an issue here at times, which is why they're not like higher up. Still think they'll do very well. I do think they're better than Pepperdine and Long Beach, but we'll see. Games will decide that. UC Davis coming in at 7, former Big West champ, moving from the Big West to the WCC. I think they're the favorite this year to win the Big West. I'm sorry, the WCC. They won the Big West last year. I think they're the favorite to win the WCC this year. They have a very good team. They're very good. What they did lose was the big man and Hitchcock. I think Andrew Hitchcock. And 6'7" center and defender. And Coach Layson talked about it. Like, it's a big loss. It's hard to replicate a 5th year like that who's 6'7", the leadership, the mentality. People don't. It's this intangible. Like, he was the calming force for that team. He was the leader. It's hard to replicate that. You'll find somebody else next man up. Somebody will come up, but it's hard to replicate that. And then CBU. People are like, well, how do you put CBU ahead of Davis? And the answer is this. You've got Andrea Nuzzo. You've got a very good goalie. You've got Rafa Martinez, who's the Hulk. He and Gabby Acosta will be the top 2 centers in the Big West. And he's a problem. Gabby's like a little more flexible. I'm not sure he's got bones in his body. If you watch the way he shoots,
literally flexible. Yes,
literally flexible. But Gabby is like he's a little quicker. Rafa's just a bit thicker, bigger, and he's going to be a bully. They also picked up a good freshman center as well. They're good at the defensive standpoint. Embriolo, 6'4", 6'5". They're going to be. This team's going to be good. This 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there's a group there where they're going to beat each other up pretty good this year. I'd not be shocked if those 4 teams just kind of stayed in there, but we'll see what happens. So preseason. Number 5, Fordham. No surprise here. We talk a lot about Fordham. They deserve to be 5th until they beat a top 4 team. We talked about this on the episode with Brian. They've not lost to anybody below them, below 5 in the last 2 years, and they've not beat anybody above 5 in the last 2 years. So 5 is where they go.
Yep.
Pretty straightforward. I think they've got the talent to beat an MPSF team. I don't know if it'll be this year. I think it'll be next year. Cal, number 4, easy peasy. But I'm doing this because it's TBD on who they've got and how they play together. I think the best trio of centers in the country, Don Brown, Chase Wilson, Ilias Angelopoulos. The best trio of defenders in Maddox Arlett, Milan Sumic, and Ilias Angelopoulos, who can go 2-2. Be very mindful of that. And Iran Pena. Their spine is the strongest spine in the NC2A this year. It is the strongest spine. Goalie, center defender, center. We'll see how it shakes out. They've got some great shooters in Perone, Besso, Luke Bachler will call out quite good. Really good stuff there. But they're going to start the season at 4 until we see how it shakes out. They had a lot of talent last year, didn't put it together. Did not put it together. I don't think they won an MPSF game last year against an MPSF team. I'd have to look. I don't think they did. Anyway, Stanford at number 3. I will say this about Stanford. If they're going to win an NC2A title, it has to be this year because they do not have a replacement for Georgie. And he is a game-changing center. This is his last year, is my understanding. He is a game-changing center. They're not going to be able to replace him. So the production they're getting from the center position is at an elite level for them. They have to capitalize on this opportunity because without a defender in this class, and without really other than Zervadakis, the defender on the roster, they're going to have to use other people to take exclusions. But it's going to be very hard for them to get stops, like good center defense, to stop the ball from getting into center for possessions. And we've seen how important that is. This is their year. At the same time, they could lose to Cal. Like it's really, really tight between these teams. Yep. Okay. So they're very good, but so is Cal. And I think I think they were up 3 or 4 goals on Stanford late last year and couldn't close it out. Coach Evers called that out in his interview. Like, dude, they just couldn't close it out. So they've got the potential to beat Stanford, but Stanford has the potential to beat everybody above them. We'll start with USC on paper, deepest team in the country. Apostolio, I can go for days. Apostolio Gars, Gavin Conant, Robert Lopez Duarte, Ante Jurkovic, F.A. Naipoglu, Camden Coker, I think, is going to play a lot of minutes on that right side. Strahinja Kurstic, Mark Angelescu, a little young. Charlie Mills in the goal. Tyler Anderson coming in. This team is, on paper, really great, like a super team. But paper doesn't play. In the last year, I thought they had more talent than UCLA, but UCLA knocked them off. So until somebody beats UCLA for an NC2A title, they are my number 1 team. I know they may lose a game this year, and they're a different team this year. But they still have Ryder Dodd, and that dude knows how to win. I don't know the last time he lost a domestic competition. It's been unbelievable. He's like, you're witnessing greatness. He's the greatest player in the history of USA water polo.
For who they lost on the left side and on the right side, and I'm speaking, you have
Chase Dodd, Gray Carson,
Lathy, you have Brinkema, you have Tico, you have Tauscher, you have Seichi, you have Castillo. Like a lot of that structure is still there. And then you don't have Gray Carson, but you do have Larson stepping in to fill that role and other guys behind
Jack Merrill, who's on the Canadian senior national team, getting great experience there. Like they're good. They're really good.
Other guys who have transferred in from Stanford,
Yeah. Chase McFarland, Danilo Dragovic, who's a scorer, Luka Gladovic. They're very good. So I think Ryder is kind of an it guy. Oppo for USC, kind of an it guy. Stanford, I don't know who their it guy is. It's probably Botan, could be Khatsis. Cal has Besso and Perone, who are both kind of it guys, games on the line, who you give that ball to. Fordham, maybe it's Octavian, maybe it's Androsh. Androsh is pretty easy going. We'll see if he can step up when the game's on the line, what that looks like. Maybe it's Salaponte. I don't know. Maybe it's Tressa. You could see Diego doing it. I could see Diego doing it.
Yeah.
But who do you give the ball to in the game's online? I think there's a very clear division here. Top 4, they're not going to lose anybody below them. I don't think Fordham beats anybody in the top 4 this year. I don't think they lose anybody below them. And then 6 through 9, 6 through 10, a little convoluted. We'll see.
Who'd you say would be 11 here?
Princeton or Pacific.
Cool.
Yeah. Princeton or Pacific. I wouldn't be shocked if Navy surprised a few teams too. Jack Pointner coming in. Kiefer Black still there. They're good.
Yeah.
You got a good class.
Yeah. Actually,
different
for sure.
Yeah. Different for them. Like,
right.
I mean, yeah, being a plebeian is so hard. A plebe, your freshman year at Navy is brutal. Like, it's tough. So we've been really fortunate to have access to a lot of these coaches and players, and we want to thank everybody for watching. Again, become a member if you want to support the program. Our membership has increased a ton. We thank you for those of you who have joined. You get free access. You get access to this video early, and the subscribers, keep hitting that subscribe button. Our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers this season. We're at 877 by count today. And as we were talking, Clay, a text came in that the courts have halted the order for the 5th years to come back. So those who graduated this past spring denying the extra year of eligibility for those who graduated. So players like Alex Rigetti, Jack Vort, Jack Martin, Andrei Grigorovich, they would be ineligible to come back. I know those schools were potentially looking at having them come back. So I just got a text message and a link to ESPN. Court halts order denies extra year of eligibility. So things continue to change even throughout our episode. How the heck are we going to keep up with this? Next up, we've got a great interview with somebody I'm really excited about. This guy, longtime friend of the program. He's never played for LA, but he went abroad last year and played in Croatia. He's now back at Pepperdine as a center. Milo Joseph will be on the show right after this. Excited to talk about his experience and what he's looking to bring to Pepperdine, maybe propel them above this number 10 seed. We'll be right back with that right after this.
The biggest quote at UCLA would be, your hands are knives. If someone touches them, you shove it away. You never want to be grabbed. You want to be playing away.
Not going to miss from there. They're out by 2, the US.
But one thing that's really key is that we talked about X4, we talked about X3, but I want you to watch the X2 defender, right?
For the Bruins, Don firing and hitting! UCLA with the first word!
So today's emphasis is going to be team zone defense. We're going to have 5 clips on this.